Hello, dear friends. Hollywood's hottest scandals, wildest affairs, and untold love stories. Today, we're diving deep into the lives of the most legendary stars who just couldn't keep their hands off each other. From forbidden romances to shocking betrayals, these tales are spicier than anything you've seen on screen. One of Hollywood's most iconic stars, Gary Cooper was known for his roles in classics like High Noon and Sergeant York. But behind his clean-cut, all-American persona, Cooper led a private life filled with numerous affairs, particularly with his female co-stars. It was said that Cooper could not resist the allure of his leading ladies, and was rumored to have had flings with nearly all of them, including actresses like Clara Bow and Lupe Velez. One of his most notorious romances was with Marlene Dietrich, which led to a heated love triangle with Velez, who was already dating Cooper. Velez, known for her fiery temper, was so jealous of Dietrich that she tried to shoot Cooper in a fit of rage when her suspicions were confirmed. Despite the drama, Cooper's reputation as a womanizer remained intact, and his romantic escapades continued throughout his career. Known as the Mexican Spitfire, Lupe Velez was one of the most vibrant and controversial stars of Hollywood's golden age. Her personal life was filled with passion, jealousy, and wild behavior that made her the subject of numerous tabloid stories. Velez had a tumultuous relationship with Gary Cooper, and her jealousy often led to explosive confrontations. She was known for her bold, unrestrained behavior. Rumors circulated that she would unzip Cooper's pants at social events and smell other women's perfume to confirm her suspicions of infidelity. Velez's passionate and dramatic nature captivated Hollywood, but her love life became legendary after her death. An urban legend claimed that she died with her head in a toilet after committing suicide, but in reality she passed away peacefully in her bed. Despite the myths and controversies, Velez remains one of Hollywood's most intriguing and scandalous figures. Louise Brooks, the actress with the iconic bob haircut, was known for her striking beauty and rebellious spirit. Despite her early success in silent films, Brooks despised Hollywood and its culture. Instead, she preferred a life filled with indulgence, famously saying that her life consisted of sex, books, and gin. She was open about her sexuality and lived a life of freedom, unafraid to engage in romantic relationships with both men and women. Brooks had a brief but passionate affair with actress Greta Garbo and frequently posed nude, embracing her independence and sexual freedom. Though her acting career ended abruptly at the age of 26, Brooks remained a fascinating figure in Hollywood, defying the norms of her time. Few figures in Hollywood history are as iconic as Marilyn Monroe. Known for her beauty, charm, and roles in films like Some Like It Hot and The 7-Year Itch, Monroe became the ultimate symbol of Hollywood glamour. However, her personal life was filled with heartbreak and scandal. Monroe's high-profile relationships included marriages to baseball legend Joe DiMaggio and playwright Arthur Miller, but her most infamous affair was with President John F. Kennedy. The Monroe-Kennedy affair was one of the worst-kept secrets in Hollywood and Washington, with Monroe's sultry "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" performance further fueling rumors of their relationship. Monroe's tumultuous love eventually led to her tragic death, but her legacy as Hollywood's most enduring sex symbol remains untarnished. Best known for her unforgettable portrayal of Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind and Blanche Dubois in A Streetcar Named Desire, Vivien Leigh was a Hollywood icon whose beauty and talent made her one of the biggest stars of her time. But her personal life was as intense and dramatic as her on-screen performances. Leigh famously pursued actor Laurence Olivier, even though both were married to other people at the time. Their scandalous affair led to the end of both of their marriages, and they became one of Hollywood's most glamorous power couples. However, their relationship was far from perfect, as both were intense and driven individuals, which often led to volatile moments in their marriage. Lee's struggle with bipolar disorder and frequent emotional breakdowns only added to the tension. And although their love was passionate, it was also tumultuous. A contemporary of Marilyn Monroe, Jane Mansfield was another blonde bombshell known for her curves and scandalous behavior. Mansfield's public life was filled with provocative stunts, such as famously wearing a plunging neckline that caught the side eye of actress Sophia Loren in one of Hollywood's most iconic photographs. Mansfield had numerous lovers and was rumored to have been involved with President John F. Kennedy, but her most notorious connection was with Anton LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan. Mansfield frequently teased LaVey, but denied having any romantic involvement with him. Her relationship with the dark figure only added to her already scandalous reputation. Tragically, Mansfield's life was cut short when she died in a car accident in 1967, but her legacy as one of Hollywood's most scandalous figures remains. John Barrymore, a member of the famous Barrymore acting family, was known for his captivating performances and his scandalous love life. Nicknamed the Great Profile for his striking looks, Barrymore was a Hollywood legend whose off-screen exploits were just as legendary. Married 4 times, Barrymore had numerous affairs with some of Hollywood's most famous women, including actresses Mary Astor and Greta Garbo. Despite his charm and charisma, Barrymore's relationships were often short-lived, as his heavy drinking and reckless behavior overshadowed his career. His addiction to alcohol and love of excess led to a dramatic decline in his later years, but he remains a symbol of old Hollywood glamour and scandal. Barbara Lamar was a silent film star whose life was filled with passion, love affairs, and scandal. Known for her beauty and intelligence, Lamar once famously said, "I take lovers like roses by the dozen." She lived a fast-paced life, filled with romantic escapades and dramatic quotes that made her a favorite in Hollywood gossip columns. Lamar's lifestyle eventually caught up with her, and she died at the young age of 29, possibly from tuberculosis. Despite her early death, Lamar's wild love life and untamed spirit left an indelible mark on Hollywood. British actress Diana Dors was known as the British Marilyn Monroe for her sultry looks and scandalous lifestyle. Her acting career often took a back seat to her infamous private life, particularly her extravagant sex parties at her mansion. These wild gatherings became the stuff of legend, attended by Hollywood elites and filled with shocking behavior. Dors embraced the attention, thriving on the notoriety that came with her risque lifestyle. Her multiple marriages, numerous lovers, and refusal to conform to traditional standards of morality made her a controversial yet fascinating figure. Despite the drama and scandals that surrounded her, Dors lived life unapologetically on her own terms, cementing her place in Hollywood history. Conjoined twins Daisy and Violet Hilton rose to fame as vaudeville performers in the 1920s and 1930s. Despite their physical connection, they led remarkably separate romantic lives, a fact that fascinated the public. Known for their wild partying and numerous lovers, the Hilton twins navigated marriage, divorce, and relationships, all while being physically joined at the lower back. Their relationships, which often ended in scandal, drew attention, and their story remains one of the most unique and sensational in Hollywood history. As conjoined twins, they faced unimaginable challenges, but they never let their condition prevent them from living life to the fullest, and they became a symbol of both courage and controversy. Known as the King of Hollywood, Clark Gable's charm, rugged looks, and talent made him one of the most beloved stars of the Golden Age. However, behind the camera, Gable had a reputation as a notorious womanizer. He had numerous affairs with his co-stars, most famously Joan Crawford. His most scandalous affair, though, was with actress Loretta Young, resulting in the birth of a secret love child. MGM Studios went to great lengths to cover up the affair, sending Young into hiding during her pregnancy. Despite these scandals, Gable's popularity remained intact, and he continued to be a beloved figure in Hollywood, admired for both his acting and undeniable charisma. Charlie Chaplin is best known for his comedic genius and iconic roles in silent films, but his personal life was much darker and filled with scandal. Chaplin had a well-documented preference for very young women, marrying multiple teenagers over the course of his life. Two of his wives were just 16 years old when they wed him. He was also known for throwing lavish orgies with his friend Fatty Arbuckle and using his fame to seduce aspiring actresses. Despite his popularity as a filmmaker, Chaplin's behavior behind the scenes cast a shadow over his legacy, leaving a lasting impression of controversy and scandal beneath his lovable on-screen persona. Errol Flynn was Hollywood's ultimate bad boy, known for his swashbuckling roles in films like The Adventures of Robin Hood. However, his off-screen life was even more adventurous than his on-screen roles. Flynn was notorious for his love of alcohol, women, and reckless behavior. His womanizing ways caught up with him when he was charged with statutory rape of 2 underage girls. Although he was acquitted, the scandal tarnished his image and marked the beginning of his decline. Flynn's self-destructive lifestyle eventually took its toll, but his legacy as one of Hollywood's most charismatic yet controversial figures endures. Marlon Brando is widely considered one of the greatest actors of all time, but his off-screen life was just as dramatic as his performances. Brando was known for his insatiable sexual appetite and openness about his bisexuality, which was revolutionary for his time. He had numerous relationships with both men and women, including a highly publicized affair with Marilyn Monroe and rumored flings with actors like James Dean. Brando's need for constant excitement and his willingness to live by his own rules made him a magnet for scandal. His unapologetic approach to love and life, combined with his immense talent, has secured his place as a Hollywood legend. Ava Gardner was one of Hollywood's most glamorous stars, but her personal life was filled with as much drama as her films. Her 3 marriages, most notably to Frank Sinatra, were marked by intense passion and fiery arguments. Gardner's love life was constantly in the spotlight, with her fiery personality leading to passionate relationships and public fights. Despite the turbulence in her personal life, Gardner was admired for her beauty, charm, and talent. She remains one of Hollywood's most glamorous icons, remembered for both her screen presence and her tumultuous romances. Joan Crawford was one of the most iconic actresses of her time, known for her dramatic roles and commanding screen presence. However, her personal life was filled with scandal and intrigue. Crawford was married 4 times and had numerous rumored affairs with both men and women, including famous actresses like Greta Garbo and Barbara Stanwyck. Her bisexuality was an open secret in Hollywood, and Crawford was unapologetic about her relationships and desires. Her strong will and independent nature made her a trailblazer in Hollywood, but it also fueled the scandals that surrounded her throughout her career. Tallulah Bankhead was a Hollywood original, known for her bold personality and outrageous behavior. Bankhead, who famously claimed to have had over 500 lovers of both sexes, was as infamous for her sexual escapades as she was for her acting. She had a reputation for shocking people with her openness about her sexuality, often delighting in making people uncomfortable with her daring comments and behavior. Bankhead's fearless, rebellious spirit made her one of Hollywood's most unforgettable characters, and her unapologetic approach to life has made her a symbol of freedom and scandal in the history of cinema. We look forward to receiving your comments. Please leave your feelings in the comments section. Katharine Hepburn was one of the greatest actresses in Hollywood history, known for her intelligence, fierce independence, and incredible talent. Hepburn had a long, complicated relationship with actor Spencer Tracy, who remained married throughout their 25-year affair. Their love story was one of Hollywood's most famous, but Hepburn rarely discussed it publicly. In addition to her relationship with Tracy, rumors of Hepburn's romantic relationships with women circulated for decades, but she remained a private person who kept her personal life largely out of the public eye. Ingrid Bergman's affair with director Roberto Rossellini caused one of the biggest scandals in Hollywood history. At the time, Bergman was married to a Swedish doctor, but her passionate relationship with Rossellini led to her divorce and a public outcry. The scandal was so intense that Bergman was temporarily blacklisted from Hollywood. Despite the controversy, Bergman and Rossellini continued their relationship and collaborated on several films. Bergman's incredible talent and undeniable beauty eventually brought her back to the forefront of Hollywood, and she remains one of the most admired actresses of all time. Elizabeth Taylor was one of the most famous actresses in the world, and her personal life was just as dramatic as her career. Taylor was married 8 times, most famously to actor Richard Burton, whom she married and divorced twice. However, her most scandalous relationship was with singer Eddie Fisher, who was married to her best friend Debbie Reynolds at the time. The affair caused a huge scandal in Hollywood, but Taylor and Fisher eventually married, though the relationship didn't last. Taylor's beauty, talent, and many marriages made her one of Hollywood's most talked about stars. Clara Bow was Hollywood's original It Girl, a sex symbol of the silent film era whose beauty and charm made her a star. However, her personal life was filled with scandal and controversy. Bow's relationships with famous men, including actor Gary Cooper, fueled gossip, but it was the rumor that she had slept with the entire USC football team that became one of the most damaging and sensational scandals of her career. Despite her success in Hollywood, the constant scandals eventually took their toll, and Bow retired from acting at the young age of 28. Cary Grant was one of Hollywood's most beloved stars, known for his suave charm, elegance, and handsome looks. Despite his image as the perfect gentleman, Grant's personal life was filled with complexity and scandal. He was married 5 times, and rumors of a romantic relationship with fellow actor Randolph Scott persisted for years, though Grant consistently denied them. Despite the speculation surrounding his personal life, Grant remained one of Hollywood's most adored actors, admired for his wit, sophistication, and charisma. Frank Sinatra, known as Old Blue Eyes, was one of the most legendary entertainers in history. In addition to his immense musical and acting talents, Sinatra was also known for his high-profile love life. He was married 4 times, but his most famous relationship was with actress Ava Gardner. Their passionate, often volatile marriage was constantly in the public eye, and even after their divorce, the two remained deeply connected. Sinatra's numerous affairs, including rumored relationships with Marilyn Monroe, made him a favorite subject of gossip, but his charm and talent always kept him in the public's good graces. Lana Turner was one of Hollywood's most glamorous actresses, known for her beauty and charisma. However, her personal life was marked by scandal, particularly her relationship with mobster Johnny Stompanato. Their tumultuous relationship ended in tragedy when Turner's teenage daughter, Cheryl Crane, killed Stompanato in self-defense during a violent altercation. The case became one of the biggest scandals in Hollywood history. Turner's love life was filled with drama and scandal throughout her career, but she remained one of the industry's most beloved stars. Rita Hayworth was one of Hollywood's most stunning and glamorous stars, known for her captivating performances and legendary beauty. However, her personal life was filled with drama and scandal. Hayworth's marriage to director Orson Welles was one of Hollywood's most glamorous, but it ended due to Welles's infidelity. Her subsequent marriage to Prince Ali Khan made international headlines, but it, too, ended in divorce. Despite her tumultuous personal life, Hayworth remains one of the most iconic stars of Hollywood's golden age, remembered for both her talent and her enduring beauty. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video. See you in the next video. Ethel Waters was an iconic American singer and actress who broke new ground in jazz and blues music. She became one of the first Black women to be nominated for an Academy Award and was a leading figure in American entertainment. While Waters did not publicly identify as LGBTQ+, her life and relationships suggest a more complex view of sexuality. She had close emotional bonds with women, and her autobiographies, such as His Eye is on the Sparrow, hint at deeper connections that raise questions about her sexual identity. Waters' work often addressed themes of struggle, survival, and resilience, resonating with queer and feminist sensibilities. Her groundbreaking contributions to music and her defiance of societal norms in her personal and professional life have made her a significant figure in the histories of both Black culture and LGBTQ+ representation. Jackie Moms Mabley, born in 1894, was a groundbreaking comedian who used her wit and humor to challenge racial and gender norms in a male-dominated industry. Known for her sharp social commentary and fearless approach, Mabley addressed topics others avoided, making her a pioneer for future generations of comedians. Mabley was also open about her attraction to women, a radical act for her time, adding another layer to her trailblazing legacy. She passed away in 1975, leaving behind a body of work that paved the way for countless female and Black comedians. Octavia Butler was a pioneering science fiction writer, known for books like Kindred and Parable of the Sower. Born in 1947, she faced racial and gender barriers in a genre dominated by white men. Butler kept her personal life private, leading to speculation about her sexuality. While she never publicly identified as LGBTQ+, some close to her have hinted that she may have been a lesbian. What truly mattered was her groundbreaking work that allowed readers to confront complex social issues through speculative fiction. Butler passed away in 2006, but her legacy continues to inspire marginalized writers. Phyllis Hyman was an R&B and jazz singer known for her rich, emotive voice and hits like You Know How to Love Me and Living All Alone. Despite her musical achievements, Hyman struggled with bipolar disorder and depression, openly addressing her mental health battles in an era when such discussions were rare, particularly for Black women in entertainment. Tragically, she took her own life in 1995, just before her 46th birthday. After her death, it came to light that she had relationships with both men and women, revealing the complexity of her personal life and the inner battles she faced alongside her public success. Often called the Mother of the Blues, Ma Rainey was a trailblazer who helped shape the genre with her powerful voice and fearless performances. Born in 1886, she was one of the first professional blues singers and made a name for herself with raw, heartfelt songs that spoke to the human condition. Rainey was known for openly expressing her attraction to women in her music, a groundbreaking act for her time. Although she was married to a man, her same-sex relationships were an open secret within her community. Rainey's boldness in life and art paved the way for future generations of LGBTQ+ musicians. She passed away in 1939, but her legacy continues to inspire. Bessie Smith, the Empress of the Blues, was born in 1894 and rose to prominence in the 1920s, captivating audiences with her powerful voice and commanding stage presence. Her life was marked by a series of triumphs and tragedies, including complex relationships with both men and women that defied the norms of her time. Smith's career was cut short by a car accident in 1937, but her influence lived on, inspiring artists like Janis Joplin and Nina Simone, who admired her strength and musicality. Her story remains a testament to the resilience and the unyielding spirit of an artist who dared to live authentically. We look forward to receiving your comments. Please leave your feelings in the comments section. Barbara Jordan was a formidable politician and civil rights advocate who made history as the first black woman elected to the Texas Senate and later as a member of the U.S. House of Representatives. Born in 1936, Jordan's oratory skills earned her national recognition, particularly during the Watergate hearings. While she broke barriers in politics, Jordan's personal life was more private. She shared a long-term partnership with Nancy Earl for over 30 years, a relationship that was not widely known until after her death in 1996. Jordan's life is a testament to the courage it takes to live authentically while pushing the boundaries of what is possible. Whitney Houston was an icon with unmatched vocal talent. She sold over 200 million records, won 6 Grammy Awards, and left an indelible mark on music history. However, behind the fame, Houston struggled with drug addiction and personal turmoil. Rumors of her relationship with her best friend Robin Crawford followed her for decades. In Crawford's 2019 memoir, she confirmed that they had a romantic relationship in the early days of their friendship. But Houston chose not to make it public, likely due to the immense pressure from her family, faith, and public image. Houston died tragically in 2012, leaving questions about whether living openly would have eased her personal battles. Toni Morrison, the Nobel Prize-winning author, is renowned for her deep exploration of race, identity, and history, particularly within the context of Black America. While Morrison is not primarily known for writing explicitly about LGBTQ+ themes, her work often engages with the complexities of desire, sexuality, and power. In novels like Beloved, Sula, and Song of Solomon, Morrison touches on intimate relationships that challenge traditional gender and sexual norms. Sula, in particular, has been interpreted as portraying intense emotional bonds between women, suggesting a subtle exploration of same-sex desire. Morrison's characters, often grappling with their identities in a racially oppressive world, offer a rich, nuanced view of love and intimacy that can include non-heteronormative experiences. Marsha P. Johnson, a Black trans woman and drag queen, is a pivotal figure in the LGBTQ+ rights movement, particularly known for her role in the Stonewall Uprising of 1969, which helped launch the modern fight for LGBTQ+ rights. Alongside Sylvia Rivera, Johnson co-founded the Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries, STAR, a group that advocated for homeless transgender youth and transgender rights. As a Black trans woman in the 1960s and 70s, Johnson's visibility challenged the traditional norms of gender and sexuality, making her a revolutionary figure. Her activism for transgender rights, especially within marginalized communities of color, continues to inspire contemporary LGBTQ+ and trans rights movements. Johnson's life and legacy serve as a beacon of resilience and resistance, and her contributions to the fight for social justice remain influential. Little Richard, born Richard Wayne Penniman in 1932, was a rock and roll pioneer whose music and stage persona changed the landscape of the genre. With hits like Tutti Frutti and Long Tall Sally, he broke boundaries with his high-energy performances and flamboyant style. His suggestive lyrics and stage presence hinted at his fluid sexuality, which was daring for the conservative era in which he rose to fame. Despite internal and external conflicts over his faith and identity, Little Richard remained an icon of individuality and expression. He passed away in 2020, leaving a legacy that continues to inspire. Billie Holiday, known as Lady Day, was born in 1915 and is celebrated for her unique voice and emotionally charged performances. Her iconic song, Strange Fruit, brought attention to racial violence and became a haunting reminder of America's dark history. Holiday's personal life was as tumultuous as her music, involving relationships with both men and women and battles with addiction. Her struggles with substance abuse and encounters with legal authorities ultimately led to her early death at the age of 44 in 1959. Despite her hardships, Holiday's music remains timeless, touching listeners with its profound depth. Bayard Rustin, born in 1912, was a brilliant organizer and key strategist behind the 1963 March on Washington, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. Rustin was openly gay, a bold stance in an era when it was far from accepted. This openness led to him being sidelined at times within the civil rights movement. Yet his strategic mind and commitment to nonviolence made him indispensable. Rustin's work laid the foundation for many civil rights advancements, and he continued to advocate for social justice until his death in 1987. Today, he is recognized as a civil rights and LGBTQ+ icon, whose legacy underscores the importance of staying true to oneself while fighting for equality. Langston Hughes, one of the leading figures of the Harlem Renaissance, is celebrated for his exploration of race, identity, and social justice. Though Hughes never openly identified as gay, his relationships with men and his poetry, including love poems and personal letters, suggest a subtle queerness. Scholars now examine Hughes' work for its nuanced expressions of same-sex desire, particularly in his poetry and in his autobiography, The Big C. Although Hughes did not publicly embrace his queerness, his work continuously explores complex human connections and the quest for authenticity in a racially divided world. Hughes's poetry celebrates Black life, love, and community, offering an inclusive perspective on relationships and identity that can be seen as embracing alternative sexualities. Audre Lorde was a Black lesbian poet, essayist, and activist who was a leading figure in both feminist and LGBTQ+ movements, especially for women of color. Her work is heavily focused on intersectionality, exploring how race, gender, sexuality, and class intersect to shape the lives of marginalized individuals. Lorde's memoir, Zami, A New Spelling of My Name, blends autobiography, myth, and history to chronicle her coming into her identity as a Black lesbian. Her writing is unapologetically feminist and queer, addressing the marginalization of Black women and the struggles of being both racial and sexual minorities. Through powerful poetry, such as in The Black Unicorn, Lorde reflects on love, empowerment, and resistance, making her one of the most important voices in LGBTQ+ and feminist literature. Brandon Flynn, an actor best known for his role in Netflix's 13 Reasons Why, is openly gay and an outspoken advocate for LGBTQ+ rights. In 2017, Flynn made headlines with a heartfelt Instagram post supporting same-sex marriage during Australia's national debate on the issue. Flynn's past relationship with singer Sam Smith brought additional visibility to his personal life, but he continues to use his platform to promote acceptance and representation. His candid discussions about his experiences as a gay man have made him a role model, particularly for younger members of the LGBTQ+ community. Queen Latifah, born Dana Elaine Owens, is a multifaceted artist, known for her achievements in music, film, and television. She broke barriers as one of the first female rappers to achieve mainstream success. Despite long-standing rumors about her being a lesbian, Queen Latifah has never publicly addressed her sexual orientation, choosing instead to keep her personal life private. However, she is widely regarded as an icon within the LGBTQ+ community and an advocate for equality. In 2015, Latifah participated in a celebration of marriage equality during the BET Awards, further solidifying her status as a strong ally. Her portrayal of a queer character in the movie Set It Off, in 1996, was groundbreaking at the time and resonated with many. While she remains silent on the speculation, Latifah focuses on using her platform to inspire and uplift through her art and activism. James Franco is a versatile actor, filmmaker, and artist who has made a significant impact in both mainstream and independent cinema. While Franco is not openly part of the LGBTQ+ community, he has portrayed several LGBTQ+ characters in films like Milk and I Am Michael. His engagement with LGBTQ+ themes goes beyond mere performance, reflecting an intellectual curiosity about the fluidity of sexual identity. Franco has expressed his belief that sexual identity can change over time and should not be confined to fixed labels. Some critics question whether his involvement with LGBTQ+ topics is driven by artistic curiosity or commercial opportunity. But there's no denying that his work has challenged traditional ideas of gender and sexuality. Through his films, Franco has sparked important conversations about representation and identity in contemporary cinema. Olivia Rodrigo, the breakout pop star behind hits like Driver's License, has not publicly discussed her sexual orientation or identified as part of the LGBTQ+ community. However, her music, which delves into themes of heartbreak, personal growth, and emotional vulnerability, has resonated deeply with a diverse audience, including LGBTQ+ fans. While Olivia has not actively advocated for LGBTQ+ rights, her songs, with their universal themes of love and self-discovery, have made her an empowering figure for listeners of various identities. Rodrigo's honesty and raw emotion in her songwriting have made her a beloved figure for fans seeking representation and connection in the music world. Tyler, the Creator, whose real name is Tyler Gregory Okonma, is a rapper, producer, and entrepreneur who has consistently pushed boundaries in music and culture. In his critically acclaimed album, Flower Boy, 2017, Tyler hinted at his sexuality through lyrics in songs like Garden Shed, which many interpreted as a coming-out moment. Although Tyler has not explicitly labeled his orientation, he often jokes about being attracted to men during interviews and on social media, leaving his sexuality open to interpretation. His boldness in addressing such topics in the traditionally hyper-masculine world of hip-hop has made him a trailblazer. His unapologetic approach to individuality has inspired a generation to embrace fluidity and defy societal norms. Sean Corey Carter, known globally as Jay-Z, is a hip-hop legend and successful entrepreneur. While Jay-Z is not a member of the LGBTQ+ community, he is a strong ally, particularly in support of his mother, Gloria Carter, who came out as a lesbian. In his 2017 album, 444, Jay-Z dedicated the song Smile to her story, celebrating her courage to live authentically. The track features Gloria Carter's spoken word segment about the relief and joy of being true to oneself. Beyond his personal connections, Jay-Z has used his influence to advocate for marriage equality and LGBTQ+ rights, helping foster acceptance and understanding in communities where such conversations were once stigmatized. Dan Schneider is a prolific television producer and writer, best known for creating iconic Nickelodeon shows like iCarly and Victorious. While Schneider's personal life remains private, and there is no public information suggesting he is part of the LGBTQ+ community, his shows have often addressed themes of friendship, love, and identity. Although his work primarily focuses on entertaining younger audiences, it has sparked debates about the portrayal of relationships and societal expectations, especially within the context of children's programming. Schneider's influence remains significant in shaping the entertainment landscape for younger generations, even though his direct involvement with LGBTQ+ topics has been minimal. Harry Styles, the British pop sensation, is not only known for his music, but also for his bold approach to fashion and self-expression. Styles is famous for refusing to label his sexuality, opting instead to remain open about love and relationships. His song, Lights Up, is seen as a celebration of self-discovery and freedom, with the message that labels are outdated. Styles has been embraced by the LGBTQ+ community for his fluidity in both identity and fashion, becoming a symbol of acceptance and individuality. His refusal to conform to traditional gender norms and his openness about his personal journey continue to inspire millions around the world to live authentically and freely without being confined by societal expectations. We look forward to receiving your comments. Please leave your feelings in the comments section. Mark Ronson, a Grammy-winning music producer and musician, is known for his collaborations with artists like Amy Winehouse and Bruno Mars. Ronson has described himself as sapiosexual, meaning he is attracted to intelligence, but has clarified that he does not identify with any specific LGBTQ+ labels. Despite this, his work within the music industry, particularly his collaborations with LGBTQ+ artists, demonstrates his commitment to inclusivity. His wide-ranging collaborations, including with openly queer artists like Lady Gaga and Troye Sivan, showcase his dedication to diversity and representation in the arts. Although his personal identity remains fluid and undefined, Ronson's support for the LGBTQ+ community is evident through his actions and creative projects. Justice Smith, an actor known for his roles in The Get Down in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, publicly came out as gay in 2020. In a heartfelt Instagram post, Smith shared his relationship with actor Nicholas Ashe and expressed his commitment to amplifying the voices of Black queer individuals. Smith's openness about his identity has made him a role model for many, especially those in marginalized communities who often face intersectional challenges related to both race and sexuality. As an advocate for representation, Smith has used his platform to fight for greater visibility of LGBTQ+ people of color in media. His transparency and advocacy have made him a powerful voice for authenticity and inclusion in the entertainment industry. Tommy Tune is a Broadway legend, known for his work as a dancer, choreographer, and director. He became a prominent figure in musical theater during the 1980s, with his work on shows like My One and Only, 1983, and Grand Hotel, 1989, both of which earned him Tony Awards. Tune was one of the first openly gay Broadway stars to achieve such success and helped pave the way for future LGBTQ+ performers in theater. His contributions to musical theater have not only shaped the industry, but also opened doors for LGBTQ+ talent to be recognized and celebrated on stage. Known as the Queen of Disco, Sylvester James, was an openly gay artist whose music was not only iconic for the disco era, but also for its groundbreaking exploration of LGBTQ+ themes. His hit songs like You Make Me Feel, Mighty Real, and Dance, Disco Heat became anthems for the LGBTQ+ community, especially within the Black and queer spaces. His flamboyant style, powerful vocal performance, and unapologetic embrace of his gay identity made him a cultural figure of great influence. Sylvester's success in the 1980s helped challenge the boundaries of the music industry, pushing for more visibility and acceptance of LGBT in mainstream music. RuPaul's rise to fame began in the late 1980s, although his most significant mainstream breakthrough would come in the 1990s. Initially known for his work as a drag queen, RuPaul's first public performances in New York City's club scene helped shape the world of drag culture as we know it today. RuPaul's work in the 1980s, including his appearances in music videos and the underground club scene, made him an icon within the LGBTQ+ community. However, it was the creation of RuPaul's Drag Race in the 2000s that brought drag culture and LGBTQ+ issues into the global spotlight, making RuPaul one of the most famous LGBTQ+ figures worldwide. His early years in the 1980s laid the foundation for this broader cultural shift toward greater acceptance and visibility for drag queens and LGBTQ+ performers. Divine, Harris Glenn Milstead, was one of the most influential figures in both the drag and underground film scenes of the 1970s and 1980s. Known for working with director John Waters, Divine became a household name after starring in Pink Flamingos, 1972, and later in Hairspray, 1888, a film that would eventually become a cultural touchstone. Divine's over-the-top performances and unapologetic embrace of drag culture made him a pioneer for LGBTQ+ representation in mainstream media, particularly during a time when drag and openly queer people were largely marginalized. Divine's success in the 1980s further helped validate the visibility of queer performers, paving the way for future generations of LGBTQ+ artists in film and television. Rock Hudson was one of Hollywood's most beloved and successful leading men in the 1950s and 1960s, famous for roles in films such as Giant, 1956, Pillow Talk, 1959, and Lover Come Back, 1961. His good looks and on-screen charm made him a favorite with audiences, but his sexuality remained private for much of his life due to the industry's reluctance to embrace openly gay actors. In 1985, however, Hudson became one of the first major Hollywood stars to publicly confront the AIDS epidemic when he was diagnosed with HIV and passed away. His death raised awareness of both HIV, AIDS, and LGBTQ+ issues in the public eye, marking a turning point in the visibility of gay people in the entertainment industry. Hudson's story also highlighted the stigma around homosexuality and AIDS during the 1980s, drawing much-needed attention to both. Melissa Etheridge began her music career in the late 1980s, gaining significant recognition with her soulful voice and rock music style. Though she publicly came out as a lesbian in 1993, her influence on LGBTQ+ culture began earlier. Etheridge's early music, filled with themes of love, identity, and self-empowerment, resonated deeply with LGBTQ+ audiences. Her coming out in the early 90s was a turning point for LGBTQ+ musicians and helped to normalize the presence of openly queer artists in mainstream music. Her continued advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights and her open embrace of her sexuality helped inspire a generation of young LGBTQ+ people, particularly those in the music industry. Ian McKellen, one of the most respected and versatile actors in theater and film, publicly came out as gay in 1988. His decision to speak openly about his sexuality was a groundbreaking moment for LGBTQ+ actors, as the entertainment industry at that time was still very much dominated by closeted figures. McKellen's coming out was part of his broader activism for LGBTQ+ rights, which would continue throughout his career. He became an outspoken advocate for marriage equality and gay rights, using his platform as an actor in films like The Lord of the Rings and X-Men to promote inclusion and acceptance. McKellen's courage in coming out and his subsequent work in LGBTQ+ advocacy helped challenge stereotypes and promote visibility for queer people in the entertainment industry. We look forward to receiving your comments. Please leave your feelings in the comments section. Cynthia Nixon, best known for her role as Miranda Hobbs on Sex and the City, 1998 to 2004, began her acting career in the 1980s, appearing in various television shows and films. Nixon didn't publicly come out as a lesbian until 2004, but her role on Sex and the City marked an important moment for LGBTQ+ representation in mainstream television. Nixon's character was portrayed as a career-focused woman who eventually entered a same-sex relationship, which was groundbreaking for a show of that magnitude at the time. Nixon's public coming out and her work advocating for LGBTQ+ rights has solidified her status as an ally and an influential voice within the community, showing that being openly queer in Hollywood, particularly as an established actor, was possible and increasingly accepted. While Billy Crystal has never publicly identified as gay, he was an important ally to the LGBTQ+ community throughout his career. He rose to fame in the 1980s with his comedic roles in television and film, particularly his role in When Harry Met Sally, 1989. Crystal was one of the first high-profile celebrities to openly support the LGBTQ+ community in the 1980s, especially as the AIDS crisis gained attention. He often used his comedy to challenge social issues, and his advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights set a precedent for other celebrities in Hollywood. While his early roles did not portray LGBTQ+ characters, his later work, including his efforts to raise awareness about HIV/AIDS, demonstrated his commitment to social justice and acceptance. George Michael, initially known for his work with the pop group Wham! In the early 1980s, it became a global sensation with hits like Wake Me Up Before You Go-Go and Last Christmas. While Michael never openly discussed his sexuality during the height of his fame, rumors circulated throughout his career. His public coming out in 1998, after a much-publicized arrest for indecent behavior, made waves not only for his career, but also for its broader implications on the acceptance of LGBTQ+ individuals in pop music. Michael's coming out in the late 90s followed years of pressure, but it helped to normalize LGBTQ+ visibility in pop culture, and his open advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights made him a significant figure in the community. In the 1980s, his rising popularity as a heartthrob created a platform for him to become a role model for LGBTQ+ fans later. Heartwarming and tender, Beautiful Thing is a coming-of-age story that celebrates the innocence of first love. Directed by Hetty MacDonald, the film is set in a working-class London neighborhood and follows Jamie and Steve, two teenagers who discover their love for each other while navigating the challenges of adolescence and their family's struggles. The film stands out for its honesty, humor, and unwavering optimism. By focusing on themes of acceptance, community, and family, Beautiful Thing delivers a deeply emotional yet uplifting experience. It's a film that leaves you smiling, with a renewed faith in love and human connection. A vibrant and uplifting true story, Pride chronicles the unlikely alliance between LGBTQ+ activists and striking minors in 1980s Wales. This heartwarming film features an outstanding ensemble cast, including Bill Nighy, Imelda Staunton, and Dominic West, blending humor and emotion seamlessly. The story highlights the power of unity and the unexpected connections that can arise when communities come together in solidarity. With its message of resilience, compassion, and humor, Pride is a joyous celebration of human connection and the strength found in diversity. Supernova is an intimate portrayal of love and loss, featuring extraordinary performances by Colin Firth and Stanley Tucci. The film follows Sam and Tusker, a couple traveling across England while grappling with Tusker's early-onset dementia. The strength of Supernova lies in its quiet moments and the authenticity of its central relationship. It's a tender and heart-wrenching exploration of commitment and the passage of time, guaranteed to leave a lasting emotional impact. Set in mid-20th century Britain, My Policeman is a heart-wrenching tale of love, secrecy, and betrayal. Starring Harry Styles, Emma Corrin, and David Dawson, the film tells the story of Tom, a young policeman caught between his love for Patrick, a sophisticated art curator, and his commitment to his wife, Marion. The film explores the devastating effects of societal expectations on personal freedom and love. With lush visuals and deeply moving performances, My Policeman captures the enduring scars of forbidden desires and the cost of living a life dictated by conformity. Queer Britannia is a powerful documentary that charts the rich history of LGBTQ+ rights in Britain. From the struggles of past generations to the achievements of modern activism, the film offers a compelling and informative narrative of the fight for equality. Through personal stories, historical footage, and expert commentary, Queer Britannia serves as a tribute to those who paved the way and a reminder of the challenges that remain. It's an essential watch for anyone interested in understanding the complexities of LGBTQ+ history and progress. Andrew Hay's Weekend is an achingly beautiful exploration of fleeting connections and the transformative power of vulnerability. The film begins with Russell and Glenn meeting at a bar. What starts as a casual one-night stand quickly evolves into an intensely intimate experience over the course of a weekend. The film's naturalistic style, combined with its deeply personal conversations, makes every interaction feel genuine and relatable. This is a story of love, self-discovery, and how brief encounters can leave lasting impressions. For those who have ever experienced a fleeting but profound connection, Weekend is a poignant reminder of the beauty found in the impermanence of life. Topping the list is The Imitation Game, the remarkable story of Alan Turing, the mathematician who cracked the Enigma code during World War II. Despite his monumental contributions to history, Turing faced persecution for his sexuality in a society unable to embrace his differences. Benedict Cumberbatch delivers a masterful performance, capturing Turing's genius and vulnerability. The film goes beyond its historical premise to deliver a powerful commentary on prejudice and the importance of celebrating those who defy the odds to change the world. The Imitation Game is both a tribute to Turing's legacy and a reminder of the cost of intolerance. A timeless tale of first love and self-discovery, Call Me by Your Name is a visually stunning and emotionally resonant film, directed by Luca Guadagnino. Set in the sun-soaked Italian countryside during the 1980s, the story follows Elio, Timothée Chalamet, a precocious 17-year-old who develops an intense and transformative bond with Oliver Armie Hammer, a charismatic graduate student staying with his family. The film's poetic storytelling and lush cinematography create an immersive atmosphere, while Chalamet's heartfelt performance captures the joy, confusion, and heartbreak of young love. With its evocative soundtrack and a script brimming with sensitivity and nuance, Call Me by Your Name is a poignant exploration of love, longing, and the fleeting nature of life-changing moments. Heartfelt and groundbreaking love, Simon is a refreshing coming-of-age romantic comedy that centers on Simon Spear, Nick Robinson, a teenager navigating the complexities of coming out while trying to find the anonymous classmate he's fallen for online. Directed by Greg Berlanti, the film combines humor, heart, and a universal message about acceptance and authenticity. What sets Love, Simon apart is its unapologetically joyous portrayal of an LGBTQ+ protagonist in a mainstream teen movie. With a delightful ensemble cast, witty dialogue, and emotionally impactful moments, the film not only entertains, but also provides an affirming narrative for young LGBTQ+ audiences. Love, Simon is a celebration of love in all its forms, and a reminder of the courage it takes to be yourself. Based on E.M. Forster's groundbreaking novel, Maurice is a moving story of forbidden love set in Edwardian England, a time when homosexuality was both taboo and illegal. Directed by James Ivory, the film follows Morris Hall, James Wilby, as he navigates his feelings for his university friend Clive Durham, Hugh Grant. When Clive chooses the path of societal acceptance and marries a woman, Morris embarks on a journey of self-discovery and self-acceptance, ultimately finding a love that defies convention. With lush period details, a haunting score, and heartfelt performances, Maurice beautifully captures the struggle for authenticity in an oppressive era. Decades after its release, the film remains a timeless classic, resonating with audiences as a story of resilience, courage, and hope. We look forward to receiving your comments. Please leave your feelings in the comments section. Set against the breathtaking yet unforgiving landscapes of Yorkshire, God's Own Country is an emotionally raw and profoundly authentic depiction of love, identity, and redemption. Directed by Francis Lee, the story introduces Johnny, a young farmer burdened by loneliness and trapped in a cycle of self-destructive behavior. Johnny's monotonous life is disrupted when Gheorghe, a Romanian migrant worker, arrives to assist on the farm. The film shines in its stark, unfiltered portrayal of rural life and its tender, transformative love story between the two men. Actors Josh O'Connor and Alex Secorianu deliver captivating performances, their chemistry making the burgeoning romance feel vivid and genuine. With its stunning cinematography, the rugged beauty of Yorkshire becomes a character in its own right, mirroring the internal struggles and growth of the protagonists. For those seeking an emotionally resonant narrative paired with breathtaking visuals, God's Own Country is an unforgettable cinematic experience. In the past, ambition, identity, and societal expectations collide in a compelling drama that spans over a decade. Russell Tovey and Arnze Kane star as two professional football players whose lives are irrevocably altered by a pivotal night in a hotel room. This single event serves as the starting point for a story that examines the consequences of suppressing one's true self in favor of societal conformity. The film dives into the pressures of maintaining a public image in the hyper-masculine world of professional sports, exposing the emotional cost of living a double life. Tovey's portrayal of a man, torn between his desires and the expectations of the football world, is particularly gripping. With its sharp, thought-provoking dialogue and deeply emotional performances, The Pass offers a poignant and timely exploration of identity and the sacrifices people make to fit into rigid societal molds.